My name is Balázs László Karafiát, and I'm a coach and an organization development professional. And I love retreats. I lived in California for 5 years ago. And I went to a lot of retreats held by friends and friends of friends. And when I got back to Hungary, I brought back the retreat culture, and I do retreats in Hungary since 2017. My dream was to bring a purpose retreat here to Costa Rica. Our scheduled date was a year ago, and that was canceled by COVID. And I promised myself that if things get a little better by the end of last year, then we jump on and we don't let anything scare us. So that's what we did, and we are now here at the end of our first Sweet Spot retreat in Brave Earth in Costa Rica.
Laszlo will make sure everybody is having a good time. So he is like the ultimate group host. He makes sure everybody's having a good time, everybody has what they need.
The way he teaches or facilitates the classes, he just uses, it's a very smooth, it's no pressure, great sense of humor, but yet he'll keep you focused and get you right to what your purpose is supposed to be. So I thought it was excellent.
As a session host or as a coach, he has a very remarkable ability to get to the core of the issue that you're facing. So if you're facing difficulty in your life or emotions of anxiety or fear or any sort of challenging emotions, he's got this quality of being able to track that exactly to the upstream issue that you need to work on. And he is a certified hypnotherapist. He's clearly very skilled at working with the subconscious, so beyond the rational mind. What are the forces? What are the memories? What are the emotions that are in the non-rational mind, which are keeping you from, achieving what you want to achieve or doing what you want to do? So, yeah, he's a very experienced and sophisticated host.
I led the retreat and co-led it with my friend Andrew and Anthony. So it was a retreat co-led by 3 men, which I think it's an interesting combination. But the 3 of us can hold such a great space for healing and development that I think that we created a very good chemistry with the group. I did the sessions around mind, mindfulness, intuition, and of course purpose.
Every morning we had an hour and a half of yoga with Anthony, who was amazing. It was a transformative practice because we started with very small movements and over the week really built up like a layer of movements of being able to move and twist in very deep ways.
My name is Anthony Williams. I am the founder and CEO of MindWell. And I got here by my student, actually. So years ago I met Balázs and we started working together, him as my yoga student. And so I guess he started on his journey then into hypnosis about 7 years ago, and he invited me to do this retreat with him. So that's how I got here.
Just breathe into it. Find a comfortable place for you. Whatever height you want, sink down, breathe into it.
I am leading a yoga class every morning. So a mindful movement class. So really coming back into your breath, your body, and movement. And so really exploring how what we think in our past traumas manifest themselves in the body. So our body is a repository of all of our past experiences. So having people explore that and work them through that. So that's my primary function here. Then each participant got a body work session from me. So therapeutic body work. So the yoga class in the morning and a body work session in the afternoon.
I've practiced yoga for over 7 years. And I have never gone as deep in the stretching and the poses as I did this week. I can safely say that.
The yoga was good. I mean, it was my first time really doing yoga, and I feel like I will be sticking with it from here on out. That kind of just got me going in the morning, stretched me out, and my body was physically fit for the rest of the day, so it was great.
I definitely enjoyed starting my mornings at 6 a.m. with yoga, and the specific version that Anthony practices, let's call it body and soul work instead of yoga.
I do yoga, but this was different. Very thoughtful, very mindful, very soulful.
I'm happy that I do all the yoga works in the morning. It was sometimes not comfortable. It was real work with the body.
The body stores all of our past experiences, all that trauma. So, you know, we have stress because we have a body, right? So if we understand that, so we can actually deal with the stress and trauma by dealing with the body. If we didn't have a body, we wouldn't have stress.
I never tried yoga, but I definitely will continue my yoga practices because Anthony taught me how to love that sport.
The body bears the burden. So all the trauma that you go through, the body bears the burden. So your body starts to change its structure. For example, medial collapse of the shoulders, the rounding of the back, the coming forward of the head carriage. You know, so this is someone, to me, that's walking around like this, has heavy thoughts on their mind. This is a sadness, this is depression. You know, so you can definitely look at people's bodies and their movements and determine what's going on or kind of read what's going on with them. Absolutely.
I'm Andrew Kippen. I'm a coach, a hypnotherapist, a wellness practitioner of many different forms. And I normally live in Woodstock, New York and Brooklyn with my wife, Nyla. And I came here because I've known Laszlo for quite a while now. And when we met at a conference, and everyone was like, "You're a hypnotherapist? You should meet this other hypnotherapist. You guys would hit it off." And it ended up that we met each other and absolutely hit it off, became great friends and stayed in touch. And he had continually talked about Brave Earth and this beautiful place in Costa Rica that he was a part of. And I'd always been curious. And so finally, this is my opportunity to come down and see it and help him with the retreat, bringing a lot of the somatic embodiment work that I do with, typically with men's work in an organization called Everyman.
Andrew's session was also great. It was more geared to your feelings and how to deal with them, which, you know, sometimes as men, we don't like to deal with our feelings.
The three coaches are a wonderful combination. And Andrew is, with his sensitivity, with his grasp, he has focus. He has focus, but the way he sees you, he puts his finger exactly on the right spot and asks the question. And ask the question with this beautiful, soft, feeling and loving voice. So I really love the way Andrew was present in the group, in the sessions. I really loved his one-on-one session with me. Probably this session brought the most important personal breakthrough for me. Yeah, about what's the next step in terms of my purpose and everything. Yeah.
So Andrew is very clearly an alchemist at working with emotions. I had my first one-to-one session with him. So my first one-to-one session of the week was with Andrew. And he works in a very somatic way. So he's working at the level of the body, using the felt experiences and feelings and sensations in the body to help process any blockages, anything that you're holding on to, any challenges. He has a quality of kind of holding space that is very unique and very powerful.
I grew up a very sensitive kid. I felt a lot, and no one ever told me or modeled for me how to feel my feelings. And so I was either really overwhelmed or I would mute them and keep them hidden. And so when I started to work with the emotions, and I started to realize like my body is trying to tell me something through these emotions, all of a sudden everything started shifting in my life. And I could have the hard conversation that I'd been avoiding, or I could feel what was not on the surface, but what was 1, 2, 3 layers beneath that was actually the truth for me. And that wisdom and that ability to feel is so key, and it's what's missing in so much of Western culture today, is just the ability to feel what's there and not get trapped in it.